can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Saeed Nurmagomedov takes on Javid Basharat this Saturday at UFC Fight Night, and I think this is a fun matchup. Both these guys are really technical on the feet. I think this is going to be a fun matchup between these two. Curious to see if either of them starts to grapple in this one. I think that, you know, they're both primarily grapplers, but they both do have pretty good wrestling, underrated wrestling in my opinion. Saeed Nurmagomedov, you would think with the last name being out of Dagestan that he'd be a wrestler first, grappler first approach, but he is primarily a kickboxer. He's got very nasty kicks, really good flexibility, leg dexterity, good lead leg kicks, lead leg question mark kicks, spinning side kicks. He was kind of beating up Vinicius Oliveira with the kicks in the first round of their fight, dropped him partially with a turning side kick, landed a flush head kick as well, and then has some spinning attacks, spinning side kicks, so just does a really good job of making his opponents fight at a distance at his range, kind of makes guys want to close the distance and get in close to him, and when they do, he's got a really good front choke series, guillotines, things like that to threaten the takedowns with, to use to finish fights like he did against Muin Gafarov. And so he's very versatile, very well-rounded, probably not the best takedown defense or the best takedown accuracy. I think he's like 15% takedown accuracy, 63% takedown defense. He did lose his last fight against Bryce Mitchell via the wrestling. I picked Bryce Mitchell. I thought that he'd be just a little bit better in the grappling, be able to kind of control the fight a little bit better, and that's what he did. But is sneaky with his scrambles. He's long, got long arms, so he can wrap up those necks and find chokes from weird angles. And I just like his striking technique with his snappy leg kicks, fights out of like a taekwondo karate style, doesn't have a lot of tell on his kicks, no chamber, just fire and leg kicks, and does a really good job fighting both stances, switches stances effectively. And taking on somebody like Javid Basharat, who is a very technical striker, he will switch stances as well. He's very light on the feet, very dynamic, very versatile striker. Likes to kind of be the one pushing forward, using his pressure. Always has kind of a measured pressure. He's in your face, but not necessarily in your face, if that makes sense. And doesn't get hit a lot up until his last fight against Ricky Simone, where he got put out cold. Before that, lost in a very close decision to Ayman Zahabi. But outside of that, he's outworking guys on the feet, winning decisions. Has sneaky submissions as well. Has a lot of chokes. The same kind of frame, that wiry frame that Saeed Nurmagomedov does have as well, that allows him to lock up chokes. So more of a volume guy, not a one-hitter quitter KO power type of guy. So going to be an interesting matchup here. I could see Javid Basharat looking to mix up the grappling as well and look to shoot takedowns on Saeed Nurmagomedov, because I feel like Saeed's going to be the one landing the more damaging strikes on the feet, battering him with kicks, keeping him guessing, kind of making him pay as he closes the void to come in. And that's why I'm going to go with Saeed Nurmagomedov in this one. I think he's just a little bit more dangerous in terms of the striking, more power on the feet, going to be doing more damage, landing the more significant strikes. I think he's going to be able to kind of control the distance a little bit better with his kicks and with his range management. He's going to be tall and rangy, similar to what Javid Basharat is. He's 5'9" for this division at Bantamweight, so he's usually kind of the taller guy. He's used to having that reach advantage and being the taller guy, but with that, he loses that knockout power and the consequence of the strikes coming his way. So again, more of a volume guy, but at 5'9", 69-inch reach, facing Saeed, who's 5'8", with a 70-inch reach, so he'll be 1 inch shorter, have a 1 inch reach advantage, so going to be very similar in terms of frames. And I'm going to go with Nurmagomedov. I think that if Javid does shoot, he'll have the scrambling ability to get back up to his feet. I don't think Javid's going to be somebody that's going to be able to hold him down, and he's going to have to deal with the submissions and just the Dagestani wrestling and just sneaky ability to end fights quickly when guys close the distance on him. So I'm going to go with Saeed Nurmagomedov. I know that he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now, but to Bryce Mitchell, Vinicius Oliveira, who's main eventing this card, he had a good performance against him for the most part, had his moments. But one thing about Saeed Nurmagomedov going into this fight is he does struggle with his cardio. He started to slow down the second round of the Oliveira fight, looked pretty exhausted in the third round against him. And so I worry about Javid Basharat, his pressure, his movement, his volume, if that's going to be enough to kind of cause Saeed Nurmagomedov to slow down a little bit and allow Javid to kind of grow as the fight progresses, win rounds 2 and 3 and win a decision. So I am worried about that, but I would hope that Saeed Nurmagomedov at this point is picking up on that's one of his the glaring issue in his skill set. It is his Achilles heel, is his cardio, because he does have a lot of explosive movements. He does move a lot, move well, so those those things take a little bit out of you. He is decently built for the division. He's not a skinny guy by any means, regardless of his frame. Does have decent power and explosivity, so I would hope that he's learning to manage that a little bit better, so that his cardio can kind of carry him through the 3-round fight and not have him start to slow down so badly. But 33 years old, still in his prime. Doesn't have a lot of momentum right now, but he's losing to good guys. Bryce Mitchell, Vinicius Oliveira lost to Jonathan Martinez back in the day. Had a good win over Muin Gafarov with that guillotine choke, but lost to Houndie Barcelos, again, another high-level guy. So been in the UFC since 2018, fought some good guys, got some good wins, some good finishes. And Javid Basharat, he can out-technique you. He can make it look good, putting more volume out there, but I think in terms of damage-based striking, I can see Said Nurmagomedov having the bigger moments, landing the better strikes, putting more flashy techniques out there for the judges, and getting this one done by decision. Javid Basharat been out since February of last year, so going to be out for almost a year since that nasty KO against Ricky Simone. So now he's coming into this one probably wondering if he can take a shot again. Might be a little gun shy against somebody like Said Nurmagomedov, who can put you out if he lands one of those kicks on you. Lost before that to Ayman Zahabi, so no shame in those losses. Zahabi's on the streak right now. Ricky Simone's always been a threat, very well-rounded, powerful, got good wrestling. Had the no contest against Victor Henry, but before that, not a lot of real signature wins. 3 wins in the UFC, but Mateusz Mendonça, that's a good win. Got the decision over him, but not a lot of momentum heading into this one. Not a lot of power, not a lot of consequence coming your way. He had finishes back in the day. Had to finish on Dana White's Contender Series against a 16-0 guy, which is impressive. But ever since he's been in the UFC, it's been a lot of decisions that have gone his way, losing a decision and then getting finished. So in terms of finishing ability and the damage being put out there, I think Said Nurmagomedov can get this one done if he can keep his cardio up and just win the striking engagements when they do clash and when they do come together. If he looks to wrestle, looking to hunt for submissions to stay upright, finish the fight, scramble to get back up to his feet. So I'm going to go Said Nurmagomedov. I think he gets this one done by decision. Thanks.